don't see trucking getting better under him. I just don't. Like, he's never even spoken on the trucking industry, to be honest with you. He's never addressed it, and I don't know what make y'all think he gonna fix anything about it.
Meanwhile,
Trump loves truckers. In 2017, the president parked a big rig at the White House and proudly proclaimed,
"No one knows America like truckers know America."
Hello, good and wonderful people. It is Taja here, and I'm back with another banger today. As you guys can see from the title of this video, I apologize, my fiance, he's working on business stuff in the background. But as you guys can see from the title of this video, we're going to be doing a retro react to fellow YouTuber, truck driver by the name of Travel Trucker. Shout out to him. Link to his channel in the description box down below. But he made a video about the state of trucking in 2025. He made a very bold prediction that trucking would actually collapse if Trump got reelected into office. And, well, Trump got reelected into office. We're in 2025. We're about 25-ish days into his second term. So, is it true? Is Trump really going to tank trucking? Well, I'll make my prediction towards the end of the video, but I do want to react to some of the claims that he made in his video. There are some things I agree with. There are some things that I disagree with. But yeah, like I said, link to his original video in the description box down below. So let's get into it. Now, the theory behind tariffs is that it's supposed to increase productivity, bring jobs back into the states, increase manufacturing, etc. But Travel Trucker, he disagrees. He believes that tariffs will collapse trucking.
But look at these trucks, guys. This is America's new wasteland. You think if Donald Trump get in office, it's gonna be better? Hell no. Trucking is gonna crash. If Trump wins, the sanctions he's trying to place on, he did place on China and whatnot, and the whole make America great again and have stuff made in America, that's just going to drive the prices down even more, and we don't need that right now.
Now, while I do agree that tariffs could actually have a negative impact on trucking, I think that it's very important to actually look back in time to see what were the policies implemented in Trump's first term in regards to trucking, and how did these policies positively or negatively impact trucking. Now, mind you, back in 2017, 2018, 2019, I was in high school, college, so wasn't even thinking about driving a truck back then. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What was your experience under Trump in trucking? What was your experience under Biden while trucking? Let me know how the two differ in the comments down below. But yes, in 2019, Trump actually slapped a tariff on Mexico. It was a 5% tariff. And even just that 5% tariff was actually very much impactful to the trucking industry.
Markets around the world seeing a lot of red this morning after President Trump's threat to impose a 5% tariffs on all goods coming in from Mexico. The president says he wants to force Mexico to deal with the flow of migrants coming to the United States. This comes as the president's trade wars are taking a toll on the trucking industry.
The rates trucking companies charge are down nearly as much as 17%. The reason, in part, the president's trade war. With fewer goods like steel and electronics coming into U.S. ports, fewer trucks are needed to move them.
So as you guys can see from that CNN clip, there was a 17% decrease in the trucking rates. The cost to transport goods and services actually decreased, and the costs were passed down to the consumers. So in the end, everybody was actually hurting as a result of these tariffs. Now, like I said, even though the theory behind the tariffs was to actually increase productivity and domestic production in the United States, that actually did not happen in Trump's first term. And Biden actually kept the tariffs in his term, and that didn't happen either. The jobs just did not come back. Now, currently, Trump wants to implement a 25% tariff. He wants to quintuple down, if that's a word. He wants to quintuple down on the tariffs, and maybe that's a big enough tax to actually increase domestic production in the United States? I'm not sure. Time will tell, because currently there's a pause on the 25% tariff. It's set to go into effect in March unless Trump changes his mind. But I think something like that, a 25% tariff, would definitely be impactful on trucking. But it may not happen. It may just be a negotiation tactic, because that's what it seems like. But let's just, rewind back to 2019 once again. Truckers did take a hit from the tariffs, but mind you, this was in 2019. This was pre-pandemic. The world was a much different place back then. And I agree with what Travel Trucker is saying, that we're living in different times. We already have an inflation crisis. We didn't have that back then. Inflation was at an all-time low. The policies that were implemented in the first administration, we saw deregulation, we saw tax cuts, gas was cheap, groceries were cheaper than they are right now, much cheaper than they are right now, and I'll elaborate on this later in the video. But we do have to acknowledge that, regardless of all the positive regulations that could put more money in our pockets, these regulations could definitely be offset by tariffs, because the tariffs are actually antithetical to, making more money, keeping more of your money. It just is what it is. However, I will say this: if the tariffs were so bad, why did Biden keep the tariffs in his administration? Because he actually did keep a lot of the tariffs that Trump implemented in his administration. Why didn't trucking collapse back then when the tariffs were implemented? Now, mind you, it was a 5% tariff, and, the tariffs were affecting trucking. It did impact trucking. It decreased the demand for truckers. So why wasn't it damaging? Maybe because the tariff wasn't big enough, or maybe because, like I said, we were living in different times. The economy was booming back then, so it probably offset the effects of the tariffs. Now, moving on, this is another claim that Tribal Trucker makes that I want to address about Kamala Harris, which I found to be very interesting. Now, he says that whatever Kamala Harris did, he did elaborate. He said whatever Kamala Harris did, she didn't actually do, and it's important that we do our research.
Let's get one thing clear. You guys need to go do your research. A lot of that stuff they said that Kamala Harris did, she didn't do. I went down the rabbit hole, and she didn't do that. So go do your research before you jump the gun on this video, man. If he get back in office, we're going to have tariffs and sanctions that are going to affect us even more.
Now, he said this despite the fact that the country overall at the time, 28% of Americans thought that the country was heading in the right direction. And somehow, whatever Kamala Harris did was, above, was not to be scrutinized. Now, I'm not sure what his sources are, what he was referencing, because he didn't, put any sources or at all, but are we supposed to believe our lying eyes? I mean, come on now. Even recently, Politico was exposed for receiving $8 million in USAID money. What's ironic about all this, they actually put out an article that states that voters were right about the economy. The data was wrong. Because under the Biden administration, green new energy policies on trucking had the following effects: several emissions regulations, trucking heading towards electrification, taxpayers bearing the brunt of the electrification of trucking, increased operating costs for carriers, decreased profitability for the carriers, lower wages for truck drivers. I can go on and on. In fact, we can go all the way back to Obama's administration with the ELD mandates. Trucking became way less efficient. Truckers were forced to leave money on the table due to the ELD regulations. If there was a parking crisis at the truck stops back then, well, the ELD mandate exacerbated the parking shortage at truck stops. And yeah, like I said, I can go on and on. Now, during Trump's administration, the policies that he implemented to impact trucking included deregulation and tax cuts. And when I say deregulation, basically he rolled back a lot of the emissions requirements, which in turn lowered operating costs, equipment costs. The tax cuts that he implemented increased profitability. Take-home pay for truck drivers increased. But, of course, we got to mention the tariffs, because the tariffs and the trade wars do impact trucking. So, if anything, that offset the gains. It just is what it is. So I would argue that Trump's impact on trucking, his first term was pretty neutral. And before I end this video, Travel Trucker actually does talk about immigration the second half of this video. I think it's best to make a separate video about how immigration impacts trucking. But he does make an outrageous claim, in my opinion. And I just want you guys to see this for yourselves. Take a look.
The issue at the border ain't got nothing to do with him. We need some type of wall or some type of barrier. That has nothing to do with whoever the president is in office. That's just common sense. So when you look at it from that perspective, you don't need to have a certain president in there to build a border wall.
So it has absolutely nothing to do with who's in office. Nothing at all. Now, if that were the case, why is it that Joe Biden, in his first day in office, he, undid like 90 executive orders that effectively closed down the border? In his first day in office, he opened the border wide open. And the Biden-Harris administration was pretty lax about immigration during their 4 years in office. And during the Biden-Harris administration, there were 10 million migrant crossings compared to just 3 million migrant crossings under Trump's administration. And now, I agree with you 100% when you say that it takes common sense to close down the border. But Joe Biden's policies on the border were antithetical to common sense. But hey, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoy content like this, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm Tasia Woods, and I'll see you next time.